Yo, it's the meme show. This was legendary, man. Like, for real, everyone knew about the manga this thing was based on, and I was sitting patiently waiting for the anime to come out. Because when something is this popular, it's gonna come out. And hell, I'll say it, this was a manga that turned me into a dude who likes reading manga. And it was a pretty good introduction at that. Komi Can't Communicate, in short, is fun, funny, and simple. It's not art in the sense that it's trying to say something profound even. Or at all. But in the case of what it's trying to be, it accomplishes the goal of being silly entertainment, and I want to explain how it does so effectively and give you a couple reasons why or why not you might want to see this. So, Komi Can't Communicate, or Komi-san, not to be confused with Komi-san of course, is an anime manga series about Komi-san and her quest to obtain 100 friends. But get this! She's a fucking mute. Well, not really. She's just super shy and doesn't talk, which gives her an imposing air. So everyone's a little scared of her. So her partner in crime is the social butterfly Tadano, who helps her communicate with people and befriend them. And these two right here are why the series is so fun. The slight twist on the quiet girl and confident boy trope, where the shy girl is liked and the confident boy is disliked, really just makes these two's interactions a joy to witness. Their charisma towards each other comes off very naturally, especially when you compare the way these two communicate with each other in private as opposed to around other people or with other characters. Those other characters don't slack too much either. A lot of my enjoyment from the series comes from the variety of characters and how just in general fucking weird they are. They're very cartoonish, if that makes sense. Not a whole lot of depth to each character, but we're happy to see each one because they're so over the top. And because these characters are so weird and shallow on purpose, what normally would be considered annoying in other series turns completely endearing. And the whole series is ingrained in introducing and making these characters interact with each other. The story is simple and always stays at make 100 friends, with new arcs either dedicating time to making a new friend or introducing us to new faces, or, just putting the group we know in a new situation. That one's always fun. There's not a lot of progression, or any to say at all. Of course, you have the usual boy and girl need to fall in love thing in the story, but their romance is constantly taking a backseat to whatever's going on, with hints every now and then that maybe it will happen. Maybe. One day. There's no twists or any real drama either, and I'm gonna say that's good for the most part, which makes kinda no fucking sense for me to say. A story in general is 3 acts, actually 5. Those acts go the setup, the change, adjustment, big change, and then the resolve. Or as the Japanese would call this, Kinto Tenketsu. Did I say that right?
Kisho Tenketsu.
Boy is a farmer, wizard takes him on an adventure. He quickly picks up the hero role, but the bad guy's stronger than he expected. But he uses help to destroy the evil castle. Boy's bored and lonely. Girl meets him, boy falls in love. He hears she doesn't like him, but he still finds the strength to ask her out anyway. It's a simple setup that has twists and turns built into it, and when you cut a series down, you can always find these as miniature points in each arc or story, as well as a giant one in the grand scheme of things. Komi doesn't really fucking work on this. I mean, of course you can find these aspects when you search through the series, but instead of focusing on an overarching story or character growth, it instead fully indulges itself in the complete gluttonous and self-indulgence of slice of life. And truly, episodic can't even describe Komi at its best, which was at the beginning, because before it was just 4-page chapters about building up to a single joke and the ending being the punchline. The series really does feel like a cartoon I would used to watch, with this pick up and put down attitude towards the entire story for the first bit. Eventually though, it feels it gets a little too big for its britches. Around the 200 chapter mark it slows down a lot. I feel it grows into something it's not, which is a story. There are complete story arcs around dynamic characters, there's real drama between friends, there's consequences of balancing 100 friends, and all of it just is fucking exhausting. It feels like a natural progression, no? Just slowly morphing the series into something a little more respectable, while keeping its roots in the slice of life genre, but its turn makes it into something it's not. And adding depth to mostly one-dimensional characters has the adverse effect of me just thinking, holy fucking shit, just fucking drop the act and fucking talk to them. You're so goddamn annoying. Instead of just accepting what they naturally do as cartoon characters. The story may seem more engaging, but it costs reliability or watchability. It's not even that it turns bad or does a complete 180 into something unidentifiable, but I feel most of Komi's initial value comes from the early bits where it's easy love. I feel it needs to be picked up and put down, like something like Lucky Star or Dragon Maid is. Luckily right now the anime will only cover these early bits when it's still really good, because fuck, dude, if they could do 200 fucking chapters in one season, they're insane. Though placing the whole picture aside, I've noticed a single problem indicative to adapting the series to anime, and it's something that will probably continue through the whole thing. which is reading. TV in general is based on radio, not film, if that makes any sense, because when it was created, the baseline for weekly content was obviously not fucking movies, these giant productions. No, it was radio shows. So the TV show is inherently really dialogue heavy compared to a movie or film. When you have a character that can't talk though, that makes dialogue scenes a little stagnant or boring, because I have to read. And of course, this idea works for comic books, but this ain't no fucking Spider-Man no more. And I wish they found a more creative way to get around this problem, because I ain't gonna lie, the fucking pretty piano music over a montage of words just doesn't do it for me. And it most likely won't for a larger audience too. Nothing really interesting is happening visually or audibly, leaving the story to do the heavy lifting, which we just talked about was not the strong suit. I mean, if you can grab onto shallow characters in 6 minutes flat, more power to you, but not everyone can, including me. Maybe instead you could have like turned Tadano and Komi into like these chalk characters, you know, talking on this big green board with words swirling around them, with them actually conversing and telling each other about their lives so far. You know, showing how excited Komi could be to actually be able to find someone she can communicate with. Or not, I don't give a fuck. This whole show is just going to be a silly little thing that people are gonna blow up to be larger than it is, memers and fucking streamers. But it's fun for the most part. And the sad thing about the anime is one of the main components of the manga that could have made it wholly unique is just kind of shelved in order to be more pure to the manga, if that makes sense. I hope this helps you decide though. Thanks. Hey, quick note too, if anyone who works at Netflix or knows someone who works at Netflix, stop putting your goddamn logo on foreign shit, because all that tells me is the dub is going to be really fucking shit.